Please be aware that this video contains graphic images. Hanged, drawn, and quartered. Treason was the most serious crime in medieval England. It was thought to be such a grave crime that only the most horrific punishment could deter people from committing it in the first place. It was initially referred to as godly butchery or the three deaths. A man named William Maries, the son of an English nobleman who was convicted of piracy in 1241, was one of the first people known to have suffered this fate. To be hanged, drawn, and quartered became a statutory penalty for men convicted of high treason in the Kingdom of England from 1352. While it is most commonly associated with England, it was a method of execution practiced throughout Europe at the time. The main purpose of the hanging, drawing, and quartering was to establish what behavior was acceptable among the general population. The punishment was long and drawn out in order to inflict as much pain as possible. It served as a stark warning to anyone who dared to challenge the king's rule over his country. Because of the nature of the execution, if a woman was found guilty of treason, she was either burned at the stake or beheaded, as it was considered inappropriate to subject a woman's body to such treatment. The use of the word drawn has caused some debate amongst historians. The first part of the process involved the prisoner being tied to a wicker hurdle and then dragged by a horse through the town to where the hangman would be waiting. Some think that being dragged by the horse could be the drawn part of the punishment, but others think it actually refers to disembowelment. Once at the gallows, the prisoners would be hung until they were almost dead, then lowered to the ground. It was at this point they would then be cut open and have their entrails removed. Those prisoners who were conscious often witnessed the burning of their genitalia and intestines before eventually dying. After their death, they were then beheaded and their body cut into 4 sections, making up the quartering part of their death sentence. The body parts would then be parboiled in salty water and cumin seeds to prevent putrefaction and to stop the birds from pecking at their flesh. The heads were often displayed on London Bridge, as this was the route by which many travelers from the south entered the city and served as a warning to would-be traitors of the consequences of betraying your sovereign. The remaining body parts would be sent across the country. One of the most notable executions using this method is that of William Wallace, the guy from Braveheart. His sentence was in response to inciting a rebellion against the English. The Welsh ruler Dafydd ap Griffith also suffered a similar fate of godly butchery in 1283. As with Wallace, his death sentence had also been ordered by Edward I. Francis Dereham also found himself sentenced to this brutal fate when he was suspected to be one of the courtiers alleged to have dallied with Catherine Howard, who was one of Henry VIII's 6 wives. Guy Fawkes, the man at the center of the gunpowder plot in 1605, was one of those who managed to escape some of the most horrific parts. He was sentenced to death and taken to Westminster to be hanged, drawn, and quartered. Fawkes' neck broke when he jumped from the gallows during the chaos, so his entrails were not publicly removed. He was quartered, however, and his body parts were displayed at the 4 corners of the kingdom. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel.